the Swiss 100 is upon us starting next week, and I'm going to share a little bit about what I'm taking with me and what I'm going to be having inside of my vest to get me through the race in this video. So for those of you that are new here, I'm YSM. I make sustainable travel and long distance running videos, and for this video, like I said, we're going to talk about my experience from the Swiss 100 50K, but I'm also going to share a little bit about my running team, and we're going to have some other videos from the other members of our running team that will be coming up on my channel. So if you're interested in learning more about what it's like to be an ultra trail running athlete, feel free to keep an eye out on these videos. I'll make a Swiss 100 series for those of you who might be interested in doing the Swiss 100, those of you who just want to watch the experience in general, or those of you who are looking to prepare for your next long distance race and seeing what other people are doing for those type of events. So let's get into it now. So as you can see in the photo that's gonna live over here, this is kind of everything that I'm gonna try to get into my bag that is laying on the floor right next to all my stuff. And really how I try to think is, if I had to pack the least amount of things would be most efficient, knowing my needs as a runner when I do long distance runs. What do I need, and tailor it to myself. Of course, every person's advice for how they prepare for a race is going to be completely different. We all have different bodies, we all have different needs, we all have different experience. And so this is just what I need for myself, for someone who on a daily basis does not really eat that much unless I'm really binging on something amazing that I eat, and for somebody who doesn't really drink that much, and for someone who's used to being in doing like long distance, heat, and just varying terrain. Like, I'm just packing what I need for myself, and of course what the next person's video will look like will be different than my video, and of course whoever you ask, their kind of planning is going to look completely different. So this is really what works for me. So first of all, I want to talk about hydration. So for this race, I'm packing in my vest 2 500s. I'm packing 2 500s. Like I said, I don't really need a lot of water when I'm doing running, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, but I am having 2 500s. But I am also listening to my body. Over the past couple of weeks, I've been going on a lot of trips, for whether for work or for personal time and pleasure, and my body's been asking for more water. So even though I do have 2 soft flasks packed for my vest, I also have my little Camelback that I'm gonna have in my vest just in case. I'm gonna see by next week how my body is responding. If I still feel a bit dehydrated from my trips, etc., then I won't use this. But this is really like, I like to prepare for worst case scenario, so I'm taking this just in case I need it, but I wouldn't suggest it unless you need it, especially if you're gonna be doing a distance running race. You really wanna pack a little bit lighter, but if you know that you do drink a lot of water, fill it, clear the air, and make sure you don't have a lot of problems with sloshing if you're gonna keep it in your vest. But yeah, like I said, this is backup plan. Let's try not to use it. This is also zero waste page. So this is also a zero waste race. We've got some soft cups to put in the bag, collapsible cups. I got these for like 1 or 2 euros at the Intersport. And it's just good to have, so that when you are stopping at fuel stations and rest stations, that if they do have something that's going to give you a little bit more energy and boost, that you do have something to take that in. But if you know that you're pretty self-sufficient and you don't need it, then don't pack it. The whole goal of all of this is to pack as little as possible. So if you know that you're not going to stop at a rest station and drink things outside of what you've already packed and put in your flask. For my hydration, I am very thankful to be supported by Precision Hydration and Fuel. So I'm gonna throw a little bit of this inside of one of my bottles and constantly refuel. I'm also gonna drink a little bit of this the night before and a little bit in the morning, like maybe an hour, 30 minutes before my race, just so my body is really charged up, so that I'm not losing a lot when I'm actually on my run. I'm already prepped for this. So I'm gonna throw some of this in, put a bit of water, throw a bit of powder, shake it up, and then add the rest. And then, yeah, I'm gonna have this in my bottle to stay hydrated. I know a lot of people like to drink a lot of like sports drinks, or like Coke, Dr. Pepper, and these kind of things. I don't really like to take fizzy drinks on my races. It actually makes me really, really nauseous. And in fact, the last 2 races that I've been running here in France, they did give this to me, and I didn't expect that would be what it was, and it was, and I actually vomited in the middle of the course and had some of my worst times ever. So if you're one of the people that's like me, that's just like, I like to be self-sufficient and not really take what's on the course. For all of my gels, my chews and stuff, which I like to kind of alternate between, that's what works for me in my training, are all here, which I also will have in my bag. It's a mix of 30-gram carb bags and 30-gram carb shoes. So that I'm throwing in my bag, and I just keep it sealed in here just in case, like I'm traveling by road and I'm not personally driving. So I just put it in a Ziploc in case something happens or one of the bags gets, one of the pouches get pierced, so that at least it stays contained. I have enough that I can take 1 30-gram every 30 minutes. So I have enough that I can have that split out, like worst case scenario for the cutoff time is 15 hours. So I have enough carb gels and shoes to last me for the full 15 hours. Like I said, this is worst case scenario. I do pack for the worst case scenario, but I try to pack light. So I have enough that I can have one, maybe more every half hour. So in terms of emergency, I have my little emergency kit here. This is a mix of different things. So I've got, of course, like some tissues, I've got some hand sanitizer, I've got my emergency blanket, some balm, some tiger balm for sore muscles. I've also got more like medicated, serious Voltaren, which is one you can find easily in pharmacy in France. It's similar to like Bengay or something for sore muscles that need a little bit more support. So if I feel anything like, you know, aching, creaking, whatever, I'll probably put that on before the race, and I might just take the tiger balm in my vest itself. And then there's a whistle in there somewhere. You see the whistle in there. And then I have some bandages, some plasters, elastic bandages, and then like a cuttable plasters for any cuts and things like that. And then I have a little sunscreen stick. Just, I don't know what the conditions are going to be, because half the reports are saying it's going to be a thunderstorm on the mountain. Yikes. And the other half are saying it's just going to be cool. But just in case anyway, when you are on a mountain peak, you do want to have some kind of protection for your skin. So I have my little stick here. To keep me covered right here, and you can just rub that on, and it works for skin, for body, for face, and for lips. So instead of having a separate SPF, how do you say, like lip balm, I just have this. So this is pretty much everything that I pack as like my little first aid bag, and then that also gets thrown into my travel bag. In terms of my race day kit, like I'm not the fanciest person. I'm probably gonna just wear like a old, very comfortable sports bra, one of my just like training shirts, and long tights to run. And then I have some merino toe socks that I'm gonna be running with that have a bit of cushioning, etc., that are made for trail running. And then I have some on sports shoes that I'm gonna also throw in my bag. I'll also put a list of all of the gear that I have in my bag in the comments, just so you know kind of what I'm packing for the race. And then as I'm just there for 3-4 days, I'm gonna just have 2 pairs of trousers, 2 tops, 1 hoodie, and a hat and a headband, just like a simple headband just for when I'm traveling, and as well as if I feel like I need it in the race. If my head is getting too hot, to just take my hat off, and I'll have this. And then I have my all-weather rain jacket that's really light, that I'm gonna just throw into the back of my running vest. For the Swiss 100, there is a mandatory kit list, so you have to really make sure for whatever distance you're running that you do have the mandatory kit list. I think the only difference between the 50, 100, and 160 is that they require you to have a headlamp. I think that's the only difference, but please don't quote me on that. Please, before your race, make sure you are checking about your requirements for your emergency kit and what you should always have on you during the race. And it's just good to be sufficient just in case of a worst case scenario. It's Mother Nature, we're out in the mountains, we're trying to have a good time, but things can change in an instant. We never know, especially in this world that the weather is constantly changing and becoming more unpredictable. So like I said, I like to always err on the side of safety in terms of packing fuel, in terms of packing nutrition, in terms of packing things for my emergency kit, just bringing things that I know that are gonna be really helpful whether the race goes as planned or not. All of that is going to go into my bag, which is going to be the only bag that I travel with. If I'm traveling with my laptop, I might bring a backpack to just throw my laptop, charger, headphones, and some notebooks and stuff, but that's really if I'm just trying to be extra and have more things. But I'm really trying to travel light to this race. So that's a worst case scenario of if I want to work while I'm on the road, but probably not. Everything fits in here and I'm good to go. So yeah, let me know what are your favorite items to bring with you on your race. What are your must-haves and what are your must-not brings? Like, what's something you always bring and you never use, but you keep bringing it? Let me know what those are in the comments. And thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. For those of you that are running the Swiss 100, whether 50, 100, 160, good luck. See you on the mountain. Bye, everybody.